What's going on, everybody? It's EricRayweather back here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to get the most out of team chemistries for your Madden Ultimate Team to help really boost up some of their ratings, including their speed rating. So as many of you might know that play Madden Ultimate Team, there's tons of different chemistries in the game that you can get. There's also something called a team chemistry. So for example, every single team has a team chemistry. The Saints have a Saints chemistry, the Chiefs have a Chiefs chemistry, and the more of these players you collect, the more that those players' stats get boosted. And I think a lot of people do know that, but this is the key to the team chemistries that I wanted to break down today. So the main, or I guess you could say the biggest appeal to team chemistries is that once you get so many players from one team on your Ultimate Team that have that team chemistry, they get a speed boost. And speed is the most important rating in Madden, always has been, always will be. Anytime you can boost your guy's speed, especially for relatively cheap, it's always a good thing to do. So I'm going to show some examples of this, and I'm going to show the best teams to do this with. Now, me, for example, I've got a lot of Saints players because I am a Saints fan. So a lot of times, people that play Ultimate Team, if you're a fan of a certain team, you want to collect all your team's best players. But once you've gone that far, you can get a bunch of their backups, and you can, by doing this, once you hit 25 of those players, they all get a speed boost. Now, if you can get 40 of their players, then you get a ×2 speed boost, and if you can furthermore get 50 of their players, it's a little bit harder to do at this state of the game, but you can get a +3 speed boost to all of those players. So me, for example, I did the Saints because I am a Saints fan. Now, the Saints, I think, are one of the better teams to do this with. They're not the best by any means, but I'll go over some of the best teams to do this with. So, something you need to know about the team chemistries is that if that player has played for that team at any point in their career, you can put that chem on them. So, for example, I have Drew Brees right here. Of course, I have the Saints chemistry on him, but if I wanted to, I'm going to go into his little upgrade thing real quick. If I wanted to put the Chargers chemistry on him, I could do that because he played for the Chargers at one point of his career. So that's something you need to keep into account. Not only your team's current players or their legend players, but you need to keep into account really good players that used to play for your team that didn't. Again, Ricky Williams here, I have the Saints chem on him because I'm trying to get all the Saints players and get speed boost to them. But we could also put the Ravens or the Dolphins chemistry on him because he's played for them as well. Now, I currently have 26 Saints players in my lineup, so I'm getting a +1 speed boost to all of them, but also I'm getting a +1 strength, a +1 jump, a +1 agility, and a +1 excel. Now, all of these are good, depending on position. Speed is good for everybody. Acceleration, agility, those are good for anybody on your team. Strength is going to be better for more so like your guys in the trenches, like offensive linemen, defensive linemen. Jump can be really good for like skill position players like wide receivers, cornerbacks, even linebackers. So these are things you want to get on all your players, and if you can collect enough of these players, you can get these speed boosts. So for example here, my Ricky Williams is at a 93 overall right now, but he's 90 speed, 90 excel because I have that boost on him. This Alvin Kamara that recently came out, this Mutt Hero Alvin Kamara, I have him powered up, plus the Saints chem on him. He's 90 speed. His regular 90 overall card is an 88 speed card with, I believe, 92 acceleration. But because I powered him up, and then because I have my Saints chem activated, he's now 90 speed, 94 acceleration, which makes him one of the faster running backs in the game currently. Whereas if I didn't have the Saints chem on him, he wouldn't be that guy. Now again, if we go over to the defensive side of the ball, for example, I have, Lattimore. He's getting a speed boost, which helps him greatly. I've got Cam Jordan. He's on the defensive line. He's getting a speed boost. Leroy Glover is getting a speed boost. But again, if you look at Leroy Glover, again, we have his strength is getting a boost, which also helps. Strength for his position at a D tackle, that's very helpful for him. I've got the Demario Davis primetime performer. He, the Saints came on him as well. So now he was already a very fast linebacker, but now he's 87 speed, and again, if you were doing a Browns team or a Jets team, you could put those chemistries on him as well because he's played for those teams. So when thinking about how you want to go about this, you want to think about not only the current players on the team, you want to think about the legends that are currently in the game that used to play for those teams, and you want to think about other really good players that used to play for that team that might not anymore. So an example could be Deshaun Jackson, for example, if you're an Eagles fan and you got a lot of Eagles guys on your team, well, you can get Deshaun Jackson, who's one of the fastest receivers in the game, with his new Football Outsiders card. He's one of the fastest receivers in the game. You could put the Eagles chemistry on him, and now he fits in with your Eagles team, and you can make him even faster. So you got to think of things like that. Also think down the line what legends are likely to come out, because if you've played Ultimate Team for a while, you know usually the type of legends, what guys come out, and that can help further your team as well. So the way to activate this, like I said, of course, get all your studs, the players that you like. So for me, Drew Brees is a stud, Ricky, Kamara, those guys are studs. Willie Roaf on the offensive line is a stud. Lattimore is a pretty good cornerback. Cam Jordan's a stud. Demario Davis. Those are my stud players right now. Leroy Glover. Those are the big name players. Eventually Michael Thomas. He doesn't have a good card right now, but eventually he's going to get a really good card because he's balling out. He's going to be a stud eventually. That's going to get that speed boost. But what you need to do is, like I said, you need to go in your backup position. So you see, and you want to try to get gold players, because at least with gold players, you can put a scheme chemistry on those guys as well. So you see, my backup left guard is a Saints guy. My backup center is a Saints center. My backup right guard is a Saints right guard. Backup right tackle is, I just put a power up 71 overall Ryan Ramczyk here because I didn't want to spend a lot of coins on this position. I just wanted his Saints chemistry. My third tight end right here is this other Saints tight end, which I'll probably wind up switching him out for another guy eventually. Lorenzo Neal played for the Saints at one point, so I powered him up, put the Saints chem on him. The backup fullback, I got Zach Line there. So you see, you just fill in your backup positions. I got Manti Te'o right here. I don't even know who this guy is, honestly, but he was playing for the Saints, or he might be on the roster still, so he has a Saints chem on him. Alex Anzalone, got Von Bell. So you see, you want to fill in your backup positions, and even your special teams if you can. Punter's not that big of a deal in Madden, so whatever team you're trying to build, put your punter there. Now, kicker, the Saints don't have a good kicker in Mutt currently, so I can't do that, so I had to go with another kicker. But you see how this works. So let's talk about what are the best teams to do this with. Now, like I said, if you're just a fan of a certain team, then of course do your team, because pretty much every team is going to have enough, at least, decent enough players to get that speed boost on them. But if you're just into doing some of the best teams possible to get some of the most ridiculous players with the best speed boost, we'll just start with the Saints, since we've just been talking about them, and then I'm going to go down the list. So the Saints are a good team because, of course, like I said, Kamara, Michael Thomas, you've got Ricky Williams, Lattimore, Cam Jordan, Leroy Glover, Jimmy Graham. You got to think of, eventually Jimmy Graham's going to get a really good tight end card for a promo or something, and you could put the Saints chem on him. He's going to be a really good tight end. And then you got to think what legends are likely to come out for the Saints that haven't come out. Ricky Jackson, likely, he comes out very often. He would be a real good guy to get like a strength and a speed boost on. Eric Allen, the cornerback, he did play for the Saints at a time, so he would be another good guy that usually comes out every year. Sam Mills usually comes out most years. Joe Horn hasn't come out in a few years, but we have seen him in the game before. So the Saints are a really good team to do this with. Now, let's go down the list. Now, the best team to probably do this with any and every year is the 49ers, because they just have the most, beast players in the game every year. I mean, just currently in the game right now, they have Jerry Rice. They have Randy Moss, because Randy Moss did play for the Niners like 1 or 2 years, so you can put Niners chem on Randy Moss. Terrell Owens, Rod Woodson, Deion Sanders just came out. You can put Niners chem on him. Richard Sherman, Ronnie Lott, Steve Young, Delaney Walker has one of the best tight end cards in the game right now. He is a former Niner. You can put that on him as well. Bryant Young, those are all guys that are in the game right now for the Niners. So you can get a +1 speed boost or a +2 speed boost depending on how many players you can acquire. You can get a +1 or +2 speed boost to Rice, Moss, Owens, Rod Woodson, Deion Sanders, Richard Sherman, Ronnie Lott, Steve Young, who's already a pretty fast quarterback. That's pretty crazy right there. So the Niners far and away. And then think down the line, Charles Haley, one of the best pass rushers. He usually comes out every year. You'll be able to put Niners chem on him. Dwight Clark, guys like that. So the Niners are just far and away one of the best teams to do. The Eagles, another good team to do. Michael Vick, put Eagles chem on him. You can make the fastest quarterback in Mutt even faster. Terrell Owens, you have LaShawn McCoy, Reggie White, Brandon Graham, Malcolm Jenkins, Brian Dawkins, McNabb just came out. Like I said earlier, Deshaun Jackson, Zach Ertz. Those are all the guys that are in the game right now for the Eagles. And then again, Eric Allen is another guy who played for the Eagles. He's going to likely come out. Troy Vincent, Harold Carmichael, Randall Cunningham, again, another fast quarterback that you can put a speed boost on. So the Eagles are another really good team to do this with. the Vikings, Randy Moss, obviously, John Randall, Adrian Peterson, Xavier Rhodes, Harrison Smith, Stephon Diggs, Adam Thielen eventually is going to get a really good card because he's balling out. Everson Griffin, Anthony Barr, the best user in Madden. You can get speed boost on him. Donovan McNabb, who's in the game right now, he did play for the Vikings for a brief period. You can put the Vikings Kim on McNabb. And eventually Chris Carter is very likely to come out. Paul Krause is one of the best safeties in the league in the game every year that comes out. You can be able to put a speed boost on him. Kevin Williams, again, Randall Cunningham when he comes out because he played for the Vikings as well. Dante Culpepper if he comes out again. So there's a lot of guys for the Vikings as well. The Cowboys is another good one. You have, again, Deion Sanders, Terrell Owens, Zeke, DeMarcus Ware, Everson Walls, Dez Bryant, Michael Irvin if he comes out. Ed Too Tall Jones comes out every year. Herschel Walker, Charles Haley, Mel Renfro. A lot of great guys there. The Steelers, Rod Woodson, Shazier, who's the Mutt Master, Antonio Brown, Kevin Green. Again, you could put on Vic, you can put Steelers Kim on Vic as well because he played for the Steelers for a brief period. Emmanuel Sanders, Mel Blount when he comes out, Troy Polamalu if he comes out, Mean Joe Green, Bettis. And I would say the last one worth mentioning would be the Raiders. Again, you can put Raiders Kim on Moss, Rod Woodson, Jerry Rice played for the Raiders for a brief period. You could put it on him. Ronnie Lott, you could put that on him. Howie Long, Khalil Mack, Tim Brown, Ted Hendricks, Marshawn Lynch, Derek Carr, Amari Cooper, Jordy Nelson if he gets a good card like a flashback or something eventually. And then there's tons of great guys for the Raiders that are going to come out this year. They come out every year like Bo Jackson, Willie Brown, potentially Marcus Allen, Charles Woodson I think is rumored this year, Fred Biletnikoff. So these are teams that if you can get 25 plus of their players, you're going to get speed boost to a lot of really beastly players. So I definitely recommend taking advantage of the Team Kims this year because it's the easiest way to put speed boosts on a lot of your great talent, and definitely something you want to do going forward. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did, as always, just drop a like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time.